Greetings everyone, have some information brought to me by everybody's favourite Uncle Spike. It's interesting. I normally wouldn't have shared this sort of thing. There has been a tendency recently for, I think there's not much comic news to talk about, so people have been going a bit sort of, oh, outrage. But yeah, this one was worth covering. I feel that people should be talking about this and it should be at least sort of recorded for the purposes of history. Emerald City Comic Con has been openly discriminating against straight white men by putting on mixers, which are sort of professional post-con social events to, well, mix and socialise and, hopefully get some jobs and make some money. They've been putting them on for every group except straight white men. It's very weaselly what they've done. It's very lawyery. They have the get out that this thing has the perception of being a private function, but it's still attached to the con, it's still organised by the con, so it's not actually private. And they also have no right to do this anyway, because, I think that just for the sake of decency it's wrong anyway, but let's talk about the law. The law, I'm pretty sure, doesn't allow even private functions to discriminate against people based on their physical characteristics. So what is happening when you set up an event saying, none of this minority? You're kind of hoping they'll exclude themselves and not feel welcome. You can't legally stop them from gate crashing it. I think if it's like a private house or something, you would have no choice. If you've entered somebody's house, obviously, and they want you to leave, and it's a party, then you still have to leave. But this is not what this is. This is an organised, official event. Now, it's also a case of they've done it in a very weaselly way where they've not said, no white guys. They've organised events for every other minority. So it's kind of like you're not saying, oh, I didn't say Timmy couldn't come to the birthday party. I said that every other kid except Timmy could come to the birthday party. It's completely different. No, it's not. And it's pretty despicable. This is not what nerd culture is about, and it goes against the very idea of these conventions. These conventions were started out of the sci-fi community. People would, way before superheroes, find each other in the letters columns of sci-fi and pulp magazines, Dick Tracy, Flash Gordon, things like that. They eventually organised in large enough numbers that they started conventions, and then when comics started, then things really took off, and the Comic Con as we know it was born. It was all about being a geek and being interested in the hobby. It was nothing to do with anything like that. It was nothing to do with your physical characteristics deciding whether you could go to these things or not. This is just disgusting and disgraceful behaviour. It's also really stupid as well, because it means that you're locking out talent and connections that you could have otherwise had, and locking yourselves away. I also want to talk about the sort of entitlement of the people attending these. If you're going to an event that's gays only or women only, and you think you're entitled to that because of those characteristics, that is entitled. Just as me expecting to be allowed to go to an event because of my whiteness would be entitled. What makes that group special? You're automatically saying that this group is deserving of special treatment in some way. And I'm quite sick of this phenomenon, this fad of your physical characteristics mean anything other than that, anything other than the physical, anything other than superficial. I'm sick of this ridiculous mentality. And if you're laughing up your sleeve because it's just straight white guys, then I have to tell you, you're a bigot. Because prejudice, I shouldn't even have to explain this, but prejudice is a way of thinking. It's a mentality. It's not a specific group on a specific group. If you laugh up your sleeve at one minority, you're as well laughing up your sleeve at any other one. that's how it works. So if it's just gay people or just black people, they don't have problems, then that's a bigoted statement, and so is feeling that way about straight white men, because if you're able to dehumanize or indeed collectivize a group of individuals like that, then you can do that with any group, and you can dehumanize any group. If you think that straight white guys have it easy or whatever, that's your problem. That's not truth. That's not accurate. I can very easily show you multiple examples of how that's bullshit. That's your problem. That's not their problem. So yeah, I was asked by somebody, why is it that they want to bring back these horrible prejudicial behaviors? And frankly, this is their terminology. They view straight white men as the most powerful minority, and they need to knock out that minority in order to take on the rest of the minorities. It doesn't stop at white men. It starts with white men, and then they're going to turn it back around on every other group and get every other group to hate each other, because this is a war on culture. It's an attack on information. It's an attack on art. And so what they need to do is they need to make sure that their side can organise and our side can't. These rules don't apply to them. They don't need comic cons. It's the little guy that needs a convention in order to network and communicate with people. They don't need that. They don't exclude themselves from wine and cheese parties based on physical characteristics. Everybody in their group gets to go. It's only us that these rules apply to. That makes us disorganised, it makes us lazy, and it makes us incapable of cooperating, which means we can't resist their attempts to control the media of any kind, because it's not just comics that is happening in. It's not just comics this convention's in. This film, TV, news. So please like, subscribe, most importantly share, and leave your comments below on what you think's going on your opinions on it. And check out Uncle Spike's pages on Twitter and YouTube. Then head on over to PJ Media and check out the article for yourself, so that you know that there is no fuckery afoot, and that I am, get the context for yourself. Thank you very much, and I shall catch you guys next time.